Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. It is Wednesday, which means we're doing an MCU review as always. And this one, I've been excited to talk about this one for a while because I've had a lot of thoughts about it, but I haven't been able to quite put them into a good hold. And I've finally been able to do that, I think, because I'll explain it later. Let's just jump into talking about Cloak and Dagger Season 1. Cloak and Dagger Season 1 was released in 2018, and it was pretty good. No spoilers. But essentially what happens is we see this guy named Tyrone and this girl named Tandy, right? And Tandy and Tyrone met each other a long time ago when they were kids, when there was this big rock-on explosion, okay, in the middle of the sea that killed Tandy's father. And Tyrone and Tandy touch each other under the water, and they get these weird powers that they forget about they had for years. Then when they're teenagers, probably about 17, they meet again. And the way they meet is they're at a party and they're like doing all this thing, and she's stealing stuff because that's what she does. She steals stuff for a living, and she touches her, and boom, there's this big explosion. And then they discover that they have powers now, okay? And this whole season is them discovering their powers and how to use them, which most of the time I hate when people do that. I'm like, come on, just tell me what their powers are and we can get on with it. Like Jessica Jones was a good example of a bad way to do it, right? Where like they're like, okay, and she's a superhero, but she doesn't really understand her powers, and she's just gonna go do stuff. Whereas this one, it was really cool because they spent time developing the way that they can use their powers, so that we were also developing how they can use their powers, right? Like, we don't want to know right away, but also we need to know as much as they know, right? Like in Jessica Jones, she knows what she can do, but we don't. So this is really interesting because we're able to learn with them what they can do. It's like in the original Spider-Man trilogy with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire, where we learn what he can do at the same time as he can. And that was really interesting and really, really well done. And same here, I think. And so for the first, 9 episodes, really solid. And there's also this weird ancient ritual thing going on in the background where, two people always have to save Atlanta or whatever. It always happens. It's written in stone or whatever. Which is really interesting to do because I honestly didn't think it was going to work, and it kind of did. And the last episode, no spoilers, was really bad. Really just not good. The ending was not interesting, and it was kind of cheesy and weird and really fast and rushed. This should have been a 13-episode long series, for sure. The ending really is what made it bad for me, and there's a lot of issues within the whole show. The linear storytelling was really good. I did like that we went in order for the most part. There were some times where we went back and we saw some flashbacks. All really good, all really well and good. The issue doesn't stem from that part. The issue stems from the Roxxon Corporation and all that kind of stuff. And the parents were kind of weird. And there were just a lot of issues embedded here that didn't quite work. But whenever we're focusing on Tandy and Tyrone, it was really solid. And honestly, we owe a lot of that to the actors here. Starting with Olivia Holt as Tandy. She's really great as Tandy. She's able to portray this really sweet, innocent girl who's also a badass and steals shit for a living. So it was really cool we got to see that balance. And she's really great at playing this part. We got to see her again in Season 2 and as well as in Runaway Season 3. And I'm hoping she can come back and reprise her character at some point, although I am doubtful. Aubrey Joseph as Tyrone was the best performance in the show, in my opinion, for sure. He's really, really great. Just overall really, really stunningly awesome. The way he talks is just so soft and sweet, and you want to hug him. You're like, I just want you to feel better because his brother died in the beginning of the first episode, and it was it was so sad. Aubrey Joseph is really good, and I hope we see more of him as well. But honestly, I don't know if we will. Emma Lahana as Detective Bridget O'Reilly. I wanted to mention her because she's a big deal in Season 2. She's not that big of a deal in Season 1, but she does help Tandy and Tyrone a lot, which is really cool if we get a character like that. And she's a female cop who's a badass, which we need more of in this world. There was a bad guy. I actually forgot to write down his name, so I don't know who played him, but he was this bad guy. He was pretty good. I liked him a lot. He's even better in the second season, in my opinion. And it went really well for them. I think that the whole show as a whole was really solid and really interesting to watch, only when Tandy and Tyrone were on the screen. The whole bad guy thing wasn't working for me. It wasn't very good. And I really liked Cloak and Dagger. I think they're really fun. They're really cool to work together. No spoilers. I'm not going to tell you what they do or anything like that, which is really annoying because I want to tell you all. But I can't because no spoilers. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of Cloak and Dagger Season 1. But I'm going to go ahead and give Cloak and Dagger Season 1 a B+. that last episode really knocked it down a few pegs. But that's going to do it for me today. Looking forward to the next week. Luke Cage Season 2 next week for the MCU. Tomorrow we have Reservoir Dogs. Friday is Superbad. Saturday is Velvet Goldmine. And Sunday we're going to be ranking every single Steve Carell movie ever made. So make sure you guys are subscribing, hitting that like button, and thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.